Hey guys, what's up? It's Johnny here and welcome to another episode of The SIC Show. And as always, I'm super pumped to be here and I'm here with my main man B. How are you, buddy?
Going with the flow.
Going with the flow. This week on the show, we're going to talk all about waterfalls. And I've got a story for you from the Catlins in New Zealand where we're there filming with Jay.
And we're going to inspire you with an amazing image from Johnny and one of mine, waterfall and cascade images. And then we're going to show you the 3 essential pieces of equipment to capture amazing waterfall images.
Awesome, man. Let's get into it.
Enjoy.
The SIC Show. Share, inspire, create.com. Share.
Man, I remember that morning waking up and I was cold as anything and the air was crisp and I was just super pumped because we were going to this awesome waterfall in New Zealand in the Catlins.
Yes, and we woke up before dawn.
I know.
It's dark.
And I just remember grabbing my camera bag. I didn't even have a coffee. You know, no coffee. Grabbing my camera bag, strapping it on, grabbing the tripod with my light, walking through the bush. And all I'm doing is just looking at my feet and we're getting closer and closer and closer. And all I could hear is this, all this water coming over the waterfall.
Epic.
It was absolutely amazing. And we got there in dark and we couldn't quite see it, I remember.
Yes.
It was just, and we were about to film another lesson.
It was slippery as hell when we got down there.
It was so slippery. Yeah. And I just remember there's like, just as the sun started to come up, the thing that I remember is that golden, this touch of golden light. It was filtered. And because of the spray was coming off the waterfall,
yeah.
It was refracting all this golden light. It was just amazing, and it was like it was a set up because the river's running like this down into a canyon, and the sun has come up, like started to peak. The first light before the sun come up has come directly, and it was like highlighting the waterfall.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
It was amazing.
It was like a movie set.
It was, mate. It was, and Jay looked like a gun, but I just remember. But seriously, being out in nature and hearing the force of that water and seeing the golden light and just, man, that's what I remember. It was absolutely awesome, bro.
I remember being freezing cold.
Yeah. It was cold, but I got more padding than you.
Walking into the wet,
yeah,
you know.
Wet and cold.
And here's a good tip, guys, you know, have a headlamp.
Yeah,
because I had something that I was holding in my hand and I was freezing. My hands are freezing.
And we've got camera gear and bags and you need your hands free too. You know, sometimes you need to get your tripod and use it to prop yourself up. But
so I
just remember that morning, man. And I want to show you guys the image.
Inspire.
So inspire us with that image, Johnny. Just jump straight into it, man.
Okay, so the image I've taken here, and this is one of my favorite images from that location, and the reason why I love it so much, Brent, is it's got that solid point of interest in the bottom right. You know, you've got that rock there, and also there's that branch that just sticks in at the top and then sort of helps frame. And often, you know, with branches, guys, it can be hard unless it's in the right place. Sometimes it
could be distracting.
Could be distracting. But in this case, I think it's helped frame. When I remember shooting the composition, I think it's helping frame the waterfall. You know, you got a straight view to the waterfall in the background. There's also another branch coming in from the left that's helping frame around the waterfall. And I love in the foreground there, and this is the reason why I chose this height on my tripod too, guys. If I went lower, this little rim of waterfall at the bottom of the main waterfall, you wouldn't be able to see it. It would have been blocked by the rock.
Yeah, so it's actually framing the rock kind of.
It is, yeah. So I've lifted my tripod up, and this is something really to do before you even put your camera on your tripod, guys, is grab it and find your composition. Don't just put it on a tripod, lock it down at eye level, and that's your shot. Go low, go high, walk over to the left, take a step to the right till you find that perfect composition. You know, spend the time. And that's why getting to a location like this early and having time before the light is absolutely perfect is critical.
Yeah, and that's
absolutely critical.
And the reason we went there, guys, early to get the shot was because it was going to be a sunny day, no clouds.
That's right.
And waterfalls are best to shoot with even light. So you get there before dawn, before the sun actually hits the waterfall, and then you got perfect light.
That's it. I mean, even, it's just, I'm just thinking about it now. I get that feeling, man. I want to be back there.
I think it's time we go back to New Zealand.
I know, man. Yeah. Oh, we're road tripping. We're going to go on a sick road trip for sure.
Totally, guys.
But that's what I was thinking with this composition. And another tip, guys, always take the landscape and portrait of a anywhere you go. Take both images. It's just it's a must to have both to come back and play around in post. And you never know when National Geographic is going to give you that call and want that cover photo. So
they may.
You want the portrait shot.
Portrait and landscape.
Yeah, that's it, man. And what do you got, buddy?
Oh, man, this is one that I took at Josephine Falls in northern Queensland, tropical northern Queensland in Australia. Just a beautiful area. And what I love about this image, you know, even though you got the waterfall and cascades in the background, is the movement of the bubbles.
Yeah,
so I tried different shutter speeds. I started at half a second, which is my go-to waterfall shutter speed, and then I went longer. So I went half a second, 1 second, 2 seconds, 4 seconds, and 8 seconds seemed to be ideal for me because I could get the movement, and that's kind of my point of interest, is the bottom left of here with the bubbles moving around in kind of circular motion, and then I've got the boulder up there, and then it kind of leads your eye into the two cascades and the two waterfalls in the background.
That's lovely, mate. I love that movement. You know, one thing that stands out, you must have had a polarizer on there.
Yeah.
It looks like you did. You can see straight into that water, and it's aqua, you know, that greeny colour. I just love it, man.
And the rocks underneath, the kind of the
really
yellowy type of rocks underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that image. And, you know, guys, it's slippery as anything when you get to these places. It's, you know, rainforesty.
Yep.
There's moss everywhere. So be careful when you go to and photograph waterfalls. Just make sure that you know, keep your eyes open and you're safe.
That's it.
Nothing happens to you. You don't slip into the water, or even if you slip, I use my tripod to kind of give me that third leg, you know.
I'll tripod over here.
Yeah, totally.
That's good, man. Awesome, bro. That's a beautiful image, man. And I love the leading lines that lead you into the back of the cascades. And I'm a sucker for, you know, that bubble look. You know what also is nice, guys, as well, is even leaves. You can use leaves that do the same thing, moving around in the pool. You got different coloured leaves. It's amazing effect. I love it,
totally,
mate.
Guys. And just so you know, we've actually got a small waterfall course in the SIC lounge, in the Share, Inspire, Create lounge. I thought we'd put it out there now, Johnny.
Yeah, mate.
We've actually recorded a getting started with waterfall photography course.
Everything you need to know to capture great waterfalls, and it's yeah, man, I'm pumped about that course. I love it.
So if you're a member of the lounge, you've got it for free.
Yep, that's it. Awesome, man.
Create.
All right, so let's jump into the create section. So how do we actually create these images? And I think you've got three essential ingredients to
essential ingredients. I do, mate, and the first one, guys, is a solid tripod.
There you go.
You need to be locked down on a tripod, and the reason being is you're going to be shooting those slow shutter speeds. You know, you want to start at half a second up to 8 seconds or whatever's optimal for the flow of the water. And shutter speed, guys, is it's a creative choice. So you want to be locked down on a tripod so that you can change the different shutter speeds and be solid as a rock with your camera. So that's the first thing, solid tripod, guys.
What's the second thing, Johnny?
Second thing is a great wide angle lens. And the reason why you need a wide angle lens, and I'll look at the camera and talk instead of my tripod. And the reason why you need a wide angle lens, guys, is because often in these locations, it's quite tight. Yeah. It's quite a tight
Well, you're in a
spot.
canyon often.
Often it's really, really tight. You know, not all the time, not all waterfalls, but 90% of the time when you're shooting waterfalls like the two we've shown you today, is you need a wide angle lens. And what do you got on there, mate? So you've got
17
your 5D.
mil. Yeah.
So you've got your 17.
Yeah.
Okay, and one thing to look out for with a wide angle lens too, guys, is there's two different types, okay? You have a wide angle for a crop factor body and a right angle for your full frame. So this one here is for a full frame. Your crop factor is often around 10 or 11 mil, or what's that one, 12 to...
10.
So yeah, 10 to 24, is it?
10 to 22.
10 to 22.
Yeah,
there you go. So if you are working with a crop, don't be afraid to go out and get the right lens for your crop factor.
Yes.
And you know, one thing I always, this is a little tip too, man. I'm going to add this one.
Okay,
it's a bit off, but people always go, oh yeah, but I'm going to upgrade to my full frame camera and then I want my 17 mil.
Yeah.
But you know what? I've got my old D7000 with my 10 to 24 I brought 5 or 6 years ago, and I still use that thing for shooting landscapes. And the reason is, guys, at 10 mil, I can just be almost, and with the hyperfocal distance set right, I can be on top of my foreground. I can literally be like a foot out from my foreground. So you can be
closer.
I can be super close.
On a crop factor camera and get everything in focus.
That's it. You know, rather than being at 17 mil and I've got to be, it doesn't sound like much, I've got to be half a meter out, 2 foot. Yeah. So, you know, you can, and I still use this crop factor camera and lens combination now, even 5 or 6 years later. So I'd recommend, if you're on a crop factor, don't be afraid to buy that wide angle for your crop factor.
And can I mention something about this lens?
Yes.
This lens is 10 years, or actually I think it's 12 years old now. So it's over a decade old.
Yep.
I've gone through about 8 camera bodies in that time.
Yep.
Same lens.
is still going.
So it's a good investment, guys. If you get a really good lens, spend $1,000 or more dollars.
It's going to last you.
It's going to last you
through
all the other cameras.
That's it. And don't, you don't have to go out and buy that f2.8. My Nikon is a 16 to 35 that I use, and it's an f4. It's not the 2.8. No. The f4 is like twice the the 2.8 is twice the price of the lens.
So you don't need that with landscape
photography. And you don't need it, man, because
Yeah.
you're going to be shooting around f8, f16 anyway with your wide angle lens. So you don't have to spend a huge amount of money. So
for sure.
that's it.
What's the third thing?
Okay, third thing, and I would say this is essential for everyone's kit, is a circular polarizer. And the reason why you need a polarizer, particularly for waterfalls, is you want to cut through that refracted light.
Yes.
So
the haze on top of the water.
Yeah, that's it. So it's any glare on top of the water so you can see through, like Brent's image there. But another important thing is actually those little harsh highlights you see on wet foliage. Even on an overcast day, you still see those. The polarizer will cut through that.
Yeah.
And guys, using a polarizer, that effect that the polarizer gives you is something you cannot reproduce in post.
Yeah.
You need to have a polarizer.
You can't edit that in afterwards.
If you don't own a polarizer, I would say, and you don't own any filters, and you want to buy your first filter, get a polarizer.
That's the first one I'd get.
It's the first one I would definitely
And that
get.
actually might be the only thing you need to actually photograph waterfalls.
It is, yeah, you can. So if you
for filters.
Yeah, I mean, some days if you've got a really, if it's early morning and there's no really much light around, you can get away without a polarizer sometimes, even shooting waterfalls if you got the right time. But an overcast day or when the sun's just come up that little bit, you need it just to cut through that refracted light.
And it will actually darken the image a little bit too, so you can get the longer shutter speeds too.
So if you were going to buy a second filter and you had a bit more of a budget, I would say go to for waterfall shooting. I would say go to a 3-stop ND. That's my
3-stop neutral
ND
density
of choice.
filter.
So it's not too dark, it's not too light, but you start to get those bit brighter conditions, or you want to shoot those even longer exposures. 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Maybe you want to go that long. Maybe that's the creative choice you made for this waterfall. You want to go longer. 3-stop ND, perfect, man.
Yeah.
Yep. So you want to be around like F8, F16. I always start as low as you can. You want to keep that noise away and play around with your filters till you get the right exposure. And there you go.
Shutter speed. Yeah.
Shutter
so
speed.
the shutter speed is a creative choice and that's the main thing you're looking at for photographing waterfalls.
That's it.
So let's run through that again, Johnny. So what are the 3 essential things you need to photograph waterfalls?
So you need a tripod. You need a wide angle lens. And I would say if you're going to get a filter, grab your polarizer.
Circular polarizer
for sure.
And optional
ND, 3-stop.
Neutral density filter. Just to darken the image so you can get a longer shutter speed.
That's it.
Awesome.
That's it, man. That's all you need. It's been another epic show, man. I had a great time being here, and I love photographing waterfalls. And a couple of beautiful images we showed you guys. It's just so much fun getting out. In fact, I'm going to want to go and shoot a waterfall next weekend because I'm getting amped to get back out there, bro.
Totally. And you know what I love about shooting waterfalls? You just get into the zone. Like you just, when I'm there, hours go past, and it's like 5 minutes to me because I'm in the zone. I'm in the creative space. I'm capturing things. I'm focusing on, little points of interest, bubbles going around, leaves, foliage, looking for other things to photograph. It's just, I love it. Love photographing waterfalls.
And you know what? I'm a sucker for shooting wide. I love shooting wide with a waterfall. Definitely. It's awesome, man. And we'll just remind you guys that we've just completed our Getting Started with Waterfalls course for the Share, Inspire, Create Lounge. If you guys are already in there, you probably got this course by now, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you're not in there, check out this link, man. We have a special deal just for you guys, limited time. Go in there and check out this awesome community that myself and Brent have created. There's photographers in there like you, growing and learning in their photography every day, and we're in there helping you, giving you personalized help, which is
hundreds of other great photographers, and it's a positive community. So you put your images in and you get positive feedback. So that's what I love about it.
I love it too, man. It's absolutely awesome, bro. Epic, guys. Thanks for watching the show this week. We hope you enjoyed it. Please leave us some feedback. We love your feedback, and that's it, man. Another awesome show.
Awesome. See you.
Thanks,
See you next week.
Bye.
To find out more, go to shareinspirecreate.com.